Funding for Play Outside NC is provided by PNC Grow Upgrade, helping prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and in life.
There are some education experts who are starting to question whether a STEM education is enough for students. STEM, of course, stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. The thinking is STEM should be STREAM, science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math. And the best way to do that is to get kids early and to get kids outside.
I picked out a place in our backyard where the tree would have lots of sunlight and lots of room to grow. My name is Michelle Kelly. I'm a teacher here at Beaufort Head Start in Washington, North Carolina. I enjoy seeing the difference that I can make in a child's life. Because we're going to build what today? A pond.
Today, Michelle's students are going to build a pond using the 3-step design and engineering process.
First, they need to stop, think about it, plan it, build it, test it. So what do we need to do first? Dig a hole.
The thinking and planning begins with watching videos on the classroom smartboard. The first one shows a young boy making his own pond.
So what happens if it's got holes in it?
The water will go.
The water will go out. It allows them to see ahead of time what others might see, because some of these children might not actually have ever seen a pond. So that way when we do our pond, it might give them some ideas of how to create ours or how to even make ours better than what they saw. Do y'all know what it looks like inside of a pond?
No.
Under the water?
No.
Let's see what it looks like under the water. Our other video that we watched was a virtual reality video where we could use our fingers to move inside as if we were inside the pond. And look, what are those? Fish.
Then it's time to head outside.
We're gonna walk out. Y'all ready? Take my hand. That way we can lead the line this way. Outdoors is an extension of inside learning. So when we go outside to play, we're not just actually playing. Sometimes we're talking about the trees. We're talking about earth. We're talking about how the grass grows. We're talking about the oxygen that everything needs to grow. Some of those things you can't learn in a classroom. You need to actually go outside.
The first step is to figure out how big to dig.
So the first thing we got to do is we got to measure our bucket.
After measuring the bucket, the children use their tape measures to place sticks in the ground, marking each corner of their pond.
Remember, it was 28, right? So we're going to have to put a stick right here, right? Pull it tight.
They tied strings between the sticks to mark the outline for their hole.
Yeah. We didn't quite do all the strings the right length. So we had to go back to that thinking process to redo it again. So you're going to take your shovel and look, push your foot down on it. And it goes in the ground.
An adult volunteer helps dig the hole. After it's dug, it's time to place the bucket in.
We got to test it. We got to see if this is going to fit.
And it does fit. Now it's time to fill their pond with water. The kids form a bucket brigade, dipping small pails into a large bucket of water.
You got a little bit? All right, go pour it in. All right.
Next, it's time to put things like rocks and plants in and around their pond. They use technology to help guide them.
Some of the children had virtual realities, and they were actually looking at a pond as if they were underwater. With the iPad, we wanted to look at what other kind of animals might live around the pond. So what can eat a mosquito? A frog.
The activity is play, but it's also a lesson in science, technology, reading, engineering, arts and math, or STREAM.
Their brain is like a sponge. It just soaks up and just keeps soaking up more and more knowledge. And the more that we teach them now, even the science part, the technology, the reading, engineering, arts, and math, they soak it all up. They don't realize a lot of times that they're learning this stuff. The more we teach them now, and the more we start instilling of them and getting them to have a love for it now, the more successful they'll be later in life.
I would take these into the classroom and put them in the classroom so that the children can actually, and you can do this, screw them in.
In trainings like this one, organized by the Beaufort Hyde Partnership for Children, early educators like Michelle learn how to create STREAM activities for their students. Trainer Angela Wilson shows teachers how a wide variety of simple objects can be used.
Early childhood providers really struggle with science and technology, engineering, math activities when it comes to young children. And what we wanted to do was to help them to understand how simple those things can be, what they can look like when they're concrete and hands-on, and let them understand that right in their everyday environments they have things that they're able to teach these concepts.
Wilson also shows teachers how taking activities outdoors can enhance STREAM activities.
There are wonderful things that happen outdoors that just don't happen anyplace else. Outdoors encourages gross motor movement and development. Children are more apt to run and play and really exercise their bodies. Did that create wind? It appears that it did because it started moving.
Outdoors, Wilson shows teachers activities using wind, water, and shadows.
All of those teach how science is everywhere.
And how easy it can be for early educators to teach its lessons.
Having a teacher who is really knowledgeable makes a big difference in a child's development. I believe when we have successful children, we'll have successful adults.
What happened to the turtle? Did he see a mosquito to go eat?
Michelle says training in how to use simple objects in the outdoors to teach STREAM concepts makes her a better teacher and helps her students get a better education.
I want to be able to work with STREAM in the classroom so that the children become lifelong learners and that it gives them an excitement type feel to learn something new, to be happy about learning it, and to be able to go out and be prosperous and be successful in life. Is everybody go line up on the other side?